Hello, my dear students. Today, let us go for a wonderful topic, electrochemistry. In this session, we are understanding the introduction to the electrochemistry. Myself, Jairaj Agde, and let us get into the topic. If we look at the terminology electrochemistry, we could find two words, electro and chemistry. Then it has something which is related to electricity and chemistry. What must be the relationship between electricity and chemistry? That's what we are learning in this topic. Electrochemistry has two terminology. It relates with chemical energy and electrical energy. The electrochemistry is a branch of science which deals with the interconversion of chemical energy and electrical energy. In other words, it's a branch of physical chemistry which involves study of interrelation between chemical changes and electricity. With a quite difficult definition, we can go in this way. Electrochemistry is a study of production of electricity from energy released during the spontaneous chemical reactions and the use of electrical energy to bring about non-spontaneous chemical transformations. It's pretty simple. What is the meaning of spontaneous chemical reaction? These are the reaction which occurs by their own, which has negative value of delta G naught. These reactions which occur spontaneously will always leads to release in the energy. Whatever the energy released, we convert that energy into electricity or electrical energy. In the same way, some chemical reactions are non-spontaneous. That means that will not occur by their own. We should have to supply energy to make those chemical reactions to occur or those chemical transformations to take place. So we supply electricity or the electrical energy to make those non-spontaneous reaction to occur. This entire electrochemistry deals with these two interconversions. Let's proceed. Let's have a look at it. Here, decomposition reaction of NaCl, or we simply call electrolysis of molten NaCl. NaCl is so stable compound, it is impossible to decompose by its own. This is a non-spontaneous chemical reaction. If we keep NaCl, it will not undergo any decomposition. But we can make that to occur by supplying electricity. We take two electrode. One, we take molten NaCl. Here one will be cathode and one will be anode. When the current is passed through the NaCl, what happens? As the electricity flows through the circuit, the Na plus, which is a cation, which moves to cathode, and Cl minus, which is an anion, which moves to anode. At cathode, Na plus accepts electron and deposits as sodium metal, and Cl minus, it gives away the electron and converts as chlorine gas. Here Na plus undergoes reduction and chlorine gas undergoes oxidation. That's how the decomposition reaction of NaCl to Na and Cl2. A non-spontaneous reaction occurred due to the utilization of electrical energy. Here, using the help of electricity, NaCl is decomposed. A chemical change is produced. Electricity is used to produce chemical change. We can take another example of Daniell cell. It's a galvanic cell or a voltaic cell in which converts chemical energy into electrical energy. The setup is pretty simple. We take two solutions, zinc sulfate and copper sulfate. Zinc rod is immersed in zinc sulfate solution and copper rod is dipped in copper sulfate solution, and these two are connected to an external circuit which can consume electricity, then nothing happens. We should have to have our salt bridge. We'll discuss what is salt bridge later. But this is a complete setup of Daniell cell. Here zinc undergoes oxidation and releases electron. Copper accepts those electron and it undergoes reduction. During this spontaneous chemical conversion, zinc to Zn2 plus and copper 2 plus to copper, the energy will be liberated. This reaction is spontaneous reaction. Whatever the liberated energy, it converts as electrical energy. Because of this electrical energy, the light glows. In this case, we have taken the help of chemical change, a spontaneous chemical reaction which generates electricity. A chemical change is used to produce the electrical energy. That means we have two types of cell. One which converts chemical energy into electrical energy, other one electrical energy into chemical energy. First type is electrolytic cell, which converts electrical energy into chemical energy. Other one is voltaic cell or galvanic cell, which converts chemical energy to electrical energy. We have used the term electrode several times. Let us try to understand what is electrode. Electrode is a setup in which metal is dipped in its salt solution and metal and metal ions are in equilibrium with each other. Let us have a simple definition. It's as simple as this. When a metal, if it is connected to its own ions, we can call it as electrode. So here we can have the example, a salt solution or an electrolyte, and in the electrolyte we have a metal rod. I can call this as zinc electrode if zinc rod is immersed in zinc sulfate solution, which contains Zn2 plus. I can call it as copper electrode if copper rod is dipped in copper sulfate solution. It is as simple as this. What happens when we keep a metal when it's contact with its own ions? There can be two possibilities. The first possibility is metal ion Mn plus will collide with the electrode and gains the electron and gets converted into metal atom. Simple, metal ion will go and collides and accepts electron. That means it undergoes reduction. A metal ion converts into a metal. Deposition of metal takes place. Here metal N plus, which is present in the solution, will go and collides to the metal and there it gets reduced. So in this case of reduction, the entire metal rod gets positively charged. And the other possibility, metal atom on the electrode may lose some electron. It keeps its electron on the metal rod and it goes out from the solution. It goes out as metal ion Mn plus. In this case, metal has undergone oxidation. A metal atom M will goes out of this rod and gets into the solution by keeping or by leaving the electrons on the rod. In this case, the system has undergone oxidation by keeping the metal rod negatively charged because of excess number of electrons on the rod. This is an example for oxidation. Depending on the relative tendency to undergo oxidation or reduction, we have a potential difference. That means on the surface of the electrode, because of two different charge separation, we can expect some difference in the potential. A potential difference is observed on the electrode. The potential difference observed on the electrode is known as electrode potential. Let us understand what is electrode potential. It is the potential developed at the interface between metal and it's the solution, the salt solution of metal, when the metal is kept in contact with the solution, or the definition with the NCERT, a potential difference develops between the electrode and the electrolyte, which is called electrode potential. In simple, the potential difference developed on the surface between metal rod and its ions. That's what we call it as electrode. Whatever the potential difference which develops, that potential difference we call it as electrode potential. What is the use of electrode potential then? So we can have two different types of electrode potential. In fact, two types of potential is possible: reduction potential as well as oxidation potential. Here, according to the IUPAC convention, electrode potential itself known as reduction potential. So therefore, electrode potential is a measure of reduction tendency. Higher the electrode potential means higher is the reduction tendency. What is standard reduction potential? Everything, if it is in standard condition, we call it as standard electrode potential. Then what it means? The electrode potential develops when a pure metal is in contact with its ions at 1 molar concentration at the temperature 25 degrees Celsius. All conditions are standard. Metal is pure, concentration is 1 molar, and temperature is 298 Kelvin or 25 degrees Celsius. In these conditions and circumstances, if we measure the potential difference, that's what we call it as standard electrode potential. These are some example of standard electrode potential. SRP stands for standard reduction potential. Always standard reduction potential is nothing but standard electrode potential. SRP means the same. So let us have an example. Ag plus undergoes reduction to forming Ag. Here this is a reduction reaction in which there is plus 0.8 voltage of electricity can be developed. That's what the potential difference. Similarly, copper 2 plus, it has lesser electrode potential or the reduction potential. It is 0.34. Reduction of hydrogen, H plus to H2. Remember, this is the most important point where we should have to consider. By convention, we take reduction potential of standard reduction potential of hydrogen is 0. With respect to hydrogen, we can calculate the reduction potential of other species. Reduction potential of hydrogen is 0, whereas copper 2 plus and Ag plus are positive. Fe2 plus to Fe is minus 0.44, sorry. Zn2 plus 2 electron will give Zn is minus 0.76. Al3 plus 3 electron will give Al is minus 1.66, and the highest one is lithium plus electron is lithium minus 3.505 electron 0.5 volt. What it means, the one which is having negative value, you can see here the lithium plus electron gives lithium. That means its electrode potential is minus 3.05. It means lithium plus has no tendency to undergo reduction. If lithium plus has not got any tendency to undergo reduction, it means lithium metal has high tendency to undergo oxidation. So that's why lithium metal acts as strong reducing agent, whereas Ag plus electron undergoes Ag. It has high reduction potential. It means what? Ag plus has got, among these, Ag plus has got high reduction potential. So that's why it readily undergoes reduction. If it readily undergoes reduction, it should act as a oxidizing agent. If it undergoes reduction, it should have to oxidize other. So that's why Ag plus is the strong oxidizing agent, whereas lithium metal is a strong reducing agent. This is an example given in the NCERT textbook. Here, no need to remember all the values. It is just for the reference. Look at here, fluorine plus 2 electron will give 2 fluoride ion. Here the reduction potential is plus 2.87. It means it has highest reduction potential. It means it has got high tendency to undergo reduction. In other words, it acts as strong oxidizing agent. In the similar way, look at here, lithium plus electron will gives lithium. The reduction potential is minus 3.04. That means it has got very less tendency to undergo reduction. In other words, lithium metal has got extremely high tendency to undergo oxidation. So that's why it has got high oxidation potential, or in other words, it is acting as very strong reducing agent. Whatever the fluorine and the others are acting as strong oxidizing agents, whereas the lithium and the above metals, they act as reducing agents. For watching, thank you.